Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week.
From really expensive cherries to the most expensive fruit in the world, here are the top 15 most expensive fruits ever. Number 15. Sembikiya Cherries. These rather expensive cherries have good company. They come from the famous fruit shop Sembikiya in Japan, which sells a variety of expensive fruit, but more on them later. These cherries must all be evenly sized and the same color and are grown in small greenhouses so that each cherry can be monitored individually. Sounds like too much effort for something that will end up in a martini, but if you do that, that's going to be one expensive martini. Each of these cherries go for $4 each, but you can't get some per piece. They come in boxes of 40 cherries that will cost you $160 per box. Number 14. Sembikiya Queen Strawberries. Here's another one of those uber expensive fruits that come from the same shop. And at $7 per strawberry, this isn't your ordinary fruit. They have been part of a long-running Japanese tradition of giving expensive fruit to people you are indebted to. Not really that sweet, but their leaves are perfectly shaped, and each strawberry is hand-selected to ensure that every berry in a Sambikia fruit box is precisely what their clients are looking for. Number 13. Buddha-shaped pears. This fruit doesn't only taste good, it looks good too. That is, if you find small, fat, laughing, bald guys appealing. These Buddha-shaped pears are produced in the Hebei province of China and when compared to other fruits, have one of the most interesting histories. These pears were first grown by Jian Zhanghao, who came up with the idea of creating a small mold that pears would grow inside. He came up with the mold after a story that mentions magical fruit grown in Buddha's shape. It took him over 6 years to perfect this adorable little pear, and all his hard work isn't for nothing as this pear is always in high demand, even though they sell for $9 a piece. Number 12. White Jewel Strawberries. White Jewel strawberries are just like expensive beer. Its taste isn't for everybody, but if it agrees with you, you're sure to notice this berry's mysterious flavor. Farmers say it takes a while to be able to taste the flavor of this strawberry has to offer. They even warn that it may seem almost bland at first. Whatever it may taste to you, there's no denying that this is one pricey fruit, going for $10 a piece. Some people say it has a tropical taste, kind of like biting into a pineapple. It finishes with the light flavor of sweet candy. This bigger than your garden variety strawberry is only produced, where else? Only in Japan. Its white color comes from the lack of sunlight, and please, don't try making some of your own by submerging some strawberries in bleach. That's just nasty. A harvest produces only 10% of white strawberries in a growing season because of the strict ratio of sunlight to darkness that needs to be maintained. Number 11. Decanter Citrus. People that have tried this excellent citrus fruit are quick to say that it's well worth the price. But at $13 a piece, I'll have to taste one to judge for myself. Decanter citruses are larger than traditional mandarin oranges, but according to some people, both taste exactly the same. Growing this fruit is one of the best kept secrets in the world, kinda like the formula for Coke, but healthier. It originated in Japan, of course, and was smuggled into the United States in 1998. Since then, this very expensive orange has found its place in fruit stores everywhere in the world. Number 10. Seikai Apples. Seikai apples are the most expensive apples in the world, and if it isn't obvious to you yet, they come from where else but Japan. These succulent apples are currently selling for $20 or more each in stores. They were first bred in Morioka, but nowadays the apples are mainly grown in Aomori Prefecture. These extremely large apples have a sweet and mild flavor, while the texture is crisp, firm, and juicy. One of them could easily weigh 2 pounds. Available from fall through early winter, the Seikai are so expensive because the growers wash them in honey and brand them by hand, ensuring that they're blemish-free. Number 9. Sembikia Musk Melons. The sweet scent of juicy melons always reminds me of the hot summer days of my childhood. But when cutting into a Sembikia muskmelon, you are more likely to be reminded of the musky smell of men after a long hard day working under the sun. It hasn't gone bad though. They are meant to smell that way, and connoisseurs of this fruit don't seem to mind the smell at all and are willing to pay $150 or more for each melon. These melons are grown in Shizuoka, Japan. They are kept in carefully climate-controlled greenhouses where air temperature temperature and moisture levels are constantly monitored. These melons actually live much comfortable lives than most people, being surrounded by air conditioners and room heaters to be turned on when needed. Smell aside, these melons are said to have an extremely sweet taste. Number 8. Tayo no Tamago mangoes. Can you imagine paying $4,500 for a pair of mangoes? Well, someone did at a fruit auction in Japan. I don't know who that person is, but I guarantee you, he must love Tayo no Tamago mangoes with a passion. This is a one-off purchase though. These mangoes usually retail for $50 a piece. To be sold, these mangoes must weigh at least 350 grams and have at least half of their color be a deep red. This fruit is extremely sweet, which makes sense when you translate their name, meaning egg of the sun in English. Number 7. Yubari King melons. These highly expensive melons are known for being sweet and flavorful and are only grown in Hokkaido, Japan. I wonder why that doesn't come as a surprise to me anymore. Well, anyway, what makes this fruit so unique is that, unlike other melons, its skin is perfectly smooth. Yubari King melons are grown in greenhouses and use volcanic ash as soil medium. They are picked by hand with scissors and are meant to be eaten within 2 to 3 days of harvesting. This timeline might make it a little hard to find it outside of Japan, or you can pay a steep price to ship the delicious melon, much steeper than its normal $200 per melon retail price. Number 6. Densuke watermelons. Believe it or not, somebody paid $6,000 for one of these melons. But then again, that was in an auction setting. These pricey watermelons are auctioned off every year and always draw a crowd of rich and eager buyers. But if you're lucky, you can find one floating around for $250. Densuke watermelons are known for being much sweeter than your ordinary watermelon. And not only that, they're also crunchier. For most people, that's not worth the exorbitant price tag. But if you're looking to impress, this beautiful and delicious watermelon will certainly help you do so. Number 5. Ruby Roman grapes. Shelling out $400 for a bunch of grapes is ludicrous enough. But we're not talking about a bunch here. $400 will get you a single solitary grape. That's it. But that's how much Ruby Roman grapes actually go for these days. This breed of grapes is known for its high sugar content and low acidity, and is said to be one of the juiciest grapes in the world. And if you're thinking of heading off to Japan to shake off your post-pandemic blues, you'll have the luxury of being able to try it. These exclusive fruits are often given to bosses or others you are seeking to impress. While not all of these grapes will go for $11,000 a bunch, you can be sure they will all be fetching extremely high prices. Number 4. Cornwall pineapples. Finally, an expensive fruit that doesn't come from Japan. A single Cornwall pineapple can go for as much as $1,600. But what makes it so darn expensive? It's the precise method used to grow them. This delicious fruit was produced under a pile of straw, manure, and urine, a highly unusual combination that allows this pineapple to be grown in colder climates. However, this pineapple was never actually sold. The team at Helligan, where it was grown, estimated its cost but split it between the staff when it was mature. They reported it had a fantastic flavor. Number 3. Northern Territory mangoes. And yet another expensive fruit not from Japan. But don't get used to it though, we're definitely going to fly back there in a few minutes. These delicious looking mangoes come from Australia's Northern Territory. A dozen of these fruits recently sold for a record $50,000, making the price of a single mango $4,116. However, that ludicrous price is actually not because these are extra special mangoes. The Northern Territory produces thousands of mangoes each year, and although they are excellent fruit, there's nothing out of the ordinary about them. The thing is, the mangoes were sold at an auction where all proceeds went to 2 children's charities. Hopefully, you'll never be paying thousands for your mangoes, but every year, someone in Northern Australia will.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
And would you believe it? We have 2 of them today. One is an oddly shaped fruit whose shape is the only thing that makes it special, and the other is, hands down, the most expensive fruit on earth. Find out more about them next. Number 2. Square watermelons. You may have seen these perfectly cubed watermelons somewhere on social media. The thing is, this is one expensive fruit that is much more about the look than taste. Most people say there is no difference in taste between these $200 square watermelons and a round one you can buy at any fruit stand. The reason they're so expensive is simply their shape. These watermelons are popular for decorative purposes, and since they are so labor-intensive to produce, you can be sure that their price will stay high.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. Bijin Hime Strawberries. They are not just the most expensive strawberries you'll find on the market, but also the largest. These massive strawberries are produced in small quantities every year, usually only around 500 per season. This also makes them the most expensive fruit in the world. $4,000 per strawberry is their actual price. These strawberries are grown to weigh over 100 grams. That's 3 times larger than your traditional strawberry. This stunning fruit is produced in, where else but Japan. And they're just a short ride from Gifu Hashima Station if you have a few $1,000s to spare and suddenly have a craving for strawberries. Would you be willing to buy any of these expensive fruit? Let us know down below in the comments. Also, make sure to hit subscribe as well as the notification bell. That way, you'll get notified every time we upload new and amazing content just like this. Again, thanks for watching and see you on the next video.